Welcome to Enchanted Tarot. This is for the sign of Scorpio. It is a general reading. That being said, it may or may not resonate with you. If it doesn't sound like it's your story, check your other placements. Your messages could be there. Somebody left and now would like to return. They're assessing that situation of returning. Okay. Now this could be your energy or it could be the other person's. This was a very heartbreaking ending, and I feel like the pain was carried on after they walked away. It's like they never got over it. I feel like they indeed were the ones who chose to walk away in the moment. Okay, but realize they've made a mistake. Now, the reason this happened was because of the card that's underneath it here, which is the intellect. It's how they think, plan, solve their problems. Maybe this person has always run from heartbreak. Maybe it's a pattern in this person's life, because I feel like they feel like maybe somebody's always out to get them, or that they're not good enough, that they can't, it's like they're always guarded, they are not open, they pretend everything's okay when it's not. This person would have felt, with this card here, this person would have felt like they were there, but not exactly with you. Like they felt like they didn't fit in. So yeah, that's how I would say it. It's like they would feel like they didn't fit in. Okay. Low self-esteem. You may not... whatever was eating at them, they would not have talked about. It would have came out in other ways. And I think that you would have noticed that something was wrong, but you didn't really know exactly what it was, okay, or why they would act this way. So they would obviously have some very strange reactions, behaviors. So we have because of how somebody was thinking and what they were thinking, because of their fears, the plagues of the mind, this cup got cracked and abandoned and left on the path. Okay, so here we have spilled liquid on the ground, a broken cup, everything is in pieces, and it's because of the plagues of the mind. Okay, so I feel like obviously with the Hierophant appearing here twice in this reading, once at the root and once over here in the future, I feel like this is a pattern that goes probably way back, and the Hierophant would be telling them to look behind them, that the answer and the way out of this situation is behind them. It's interesting that we have this spilled liquid here from this cracked cup, and we also have it over here in this this pail. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But so they may feel bad about how it ended. They have something on their mind here. They're unhappy, I feel, with this decision they made to walk away. I feel like they did not follow their heart. They were listening to whatever was, whatever they were thinking. They were listening to those ghosts of the past, the plagues of the mind. And those things were telling them that if you follow your heart, you're going to take a fall. That's what those were telling them. You see, that's what exactly what they were telling him. If you follow your heart, you're going to take a fall. That's exactly what they were telling him. So we have the haystack on top of this with the Hierophant. Okay, so it's like, well, and the haystack can be saying you reap what you sow. Um, I mean, it could be that um, something they're looking for is difficult to find, like a needle in a haystack, and that could be like the way out. So the way out of this may be difficult to find because they're not looking in the right places. They need to look behind them. The Hierophant is behind them, behind them. That's where they gotta look. See, there's information they have. There you go. It matches up quite nice with this haystack message. So you have the book right here, closed. There's information they don't have, but they would like to have, but they're kind of blind to this, or that they don't want to look back there, or they're not making the connection between the two, because to look back would be too hard or too painful, you know. They have a lot of insecurities, and it comes from their past experiences. And so they're sitting in this energy of, oh, you know, it's not for me. I don't fit in. I'm not good enough. They're in this woe is me energy here when it comes to love. When it comes to love. Based on their experience. You see, the experience card is underneath. Based on their experience. So, and their experience has been, the experiences they've been having have been created in a specific way because of the plagues of the mind. What they have to do is go back to the root. There's something that happened to that person a long time ago that set them up to think a certain way and act a certain way. You know, when something very similar happens to them, you know, or something reminds them of that past situation. I mean, it's there. They just have to go look at it. This is something that they just want to push away and make it go away, you know, whatever it is that's plaguing them, following them, haunting them. And so they pretend to be okay when they're not. There's a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety with the noose. I feel like here they are, they're looking for their options. I feel like they want to close the distance between you. I feel like they do want to talk about this with you, but I feel like they're afraid that, uh, or they're afraid that it'll never happen, you know? So they just don't do it. And, you know, there's a consequence for that action, you know. So, I mean, if they want to change their situation, they need to take action on this. This could be about facing their fears, you know. This could be about stepping outside of their comfort zone. So they may have to step outside of their comfort zone to really look at the problem, to really assess that Three of Swords energy, why it happened, and where it really is coming from. Once they do that, they will return to make things right. There's the bridge. So what I know is from the bridge being here on top of these cards, um, that they will successfully overcome their problem and they will return to make things right with the Justice card being here. Okay. This could, for some of you, because there's so many of you watching, but for some of you, this will happen in the month of January. Okay. This card came out. So, for some of you, it will happen in January. This is the card that tells me how they were feeling. This could also indicate them feeling very antisocial. They kind of pulled back because they just maybe didn't feel good enough at the time. But now they've been here for some time. They've been being very stubborn and they're tired of being alone. Oh, this person is so stubborn. Yeah. So this could have taken time. They wanted to talk to you for some time, but they've been being very stubborn about it. And now this could possibly happen in January. And on this we have the grasshopper. And so this is a situation that with the grasshopper, I'll just bring it up. This is a situation that is in the balance, that requires careful handling. It is advisable, possibly, to seek advice before attempting to resolve this issue, if possible. The grasshopper rests upon a blade of grass. Can see it? Yes. Okay. That actually looks too frail to carry its weight, but the grasshopper is actually perfectly balanced until he moves. And when he does, he will have to move with great care or risk falling off. That is like a description of the situation this person is sitting in. So this is why they may need to get some advice before possibly attempting it. This is how they're feeling. This person probably has, they react quickly. So they possibly could lose control of their emotion if they're not careful. Okay. This is about a healing. It is about having all of the right ingredients to do so with the cauldron. This is about rebirth, intuition. So maybe this person needs to follow their intuition. It's something they didn't do in the last time. That's why they took a fall. They listened to the plagues of the mind. They didn't follow their intuition, and they took a fall, and they lost. There was a consequence, right? And so here we have the Two of Cups. So there's distance between you, and they definitely want to make a move, but they're kind of hesitant. On this we have the Queen of Cups, the Hierophant again, and he's holding that open book to showing this person that this is, they need to look at what's been written to find their way out of this. Okay, so, and I feel like this is what this person actually ultimately does. okay, in order to get to this point where they return, seeking your attention, okay? So, and here the cards are showing this, that this is exactly what's happening with that Three of Coins. You see how they threw the tools down? Well, now they're going back to look at that situation. And that is exactly what the Hierophant is telling them to do. Go back and look at what is written. So what did they do? They go back and they look at what's been written. That's exactly what they do. This is somebody returning to the scene. This is something left. There are things left unsaid, things left undone here. Somebody overreacted, probably. Maybe they didn't think they were going to get what they wanted, or maybe they were unwilling to compromise on something. Maybe they just misunderstood something. They weren't understanding something. Maybe they were haunted by ghosts of the past, their plagues of the mind, their fears. Ultimately, what these cards are telling me is that in the future here, this is the future, they will be open to talking about this past event that we have here. This is her. She says she's open to talking about what? About what caused this this distance between the two of you, about this past event. Okay, so here they are returning to seek out your attention. This is also the card of the root issue. Okay, looking at a root issue, taking a deeper look. And so they are coming back to talk to you about this past event. They are open to talking about this with you. There's the Ace of Swords. So they are returning. They are returning after a period of time. The Pale says that this person, it's like time. It's time to do something about your situation. I mean, this could be spilled emotions, spilled tears, you know. It's time now to get up and take action. This was a very heartbreaking situation. So it's time. This is saying it's time for this person to kind of bail them out of the situation that they themselves actually created, because, you know, with the haystack, you reap what you sow. And so this could also be telling me that this person, because water is emotion and it's getting spilled. So, I mean, it could also be telling me that in this conversation, somebody could spill something out, like their emotions. They could just pour out of them. And it wasn't their intention to do that, but and it's not a bad thing, okay? But it's like just everything comes out, okay? So I feel like they're going to tell you how they feel. Things that before, when the pail was up, the emotions were contained. It's like now the pail is tipped on its side, it gets spilled. I feel like this conversation could become very emotional, and you will hear from the depths of this person's heart how they feel about you. So that is what I have for you. I thank you for watching, for liking, and for sharing my videos, and for subscribing. Also, thank you to everyone who has sent in a donation. Excuse me, losing my voice. It is greatly appreciated. Many blessings to all of you.